So this love it. Let's talk a little bit about what your Attorney Generals do. Founder of the Inner Hero, Mr. Ambrose R. Russell Sr.
Volunteered to do it already. Yeah, and so thank you. So the history, it's American history. After George Floyd was killed, the largest number, it's an important moment. Also, people were protesting around the world. People were protesting in Frankfurt, Germany, Lagos, Nigeria, Nairobi, Kenya. People were protesting but one of my colleagues went there to talk to the people in Rio de Janeiro. What about this situation? Ordinarily, when there is a crime committed in one of our 87 counties, but in this particular situation, a lot of people said yes, and then the governor said, Keith, would you take over the case? And I said, well, as long as I can have it come on May 25th, 2020, distance, and they videotaped. He ended up being president of South Africa, but before that, he was in prison for 26 years.
Our second question here says, what was the difference in the case of death?
She said yes, so I'm going to do it. Had some difficulties in life, so he came to Minnesota for a fresh start. He was working as a security guard at some local nightclubs like Nuevo Rey, the Conga, and a few other places. He worked at the Harbor Lights, which is a place to help homeless people. He was working, he had a job. And one day, to go buy some barbecue. So he goes into the store and he has 2 20s. And then somehow there's some mix up with the cash. Then the police come and say, we think this is a fake $20 bill. And they don't even ask him, did you know it was fake? Are you aware it was fake? Who gave it to you? They didn't ask him anything like that. They just started putting the gun in his face, and they beat him up, and then sat on top of him when he was lying prone on the ground, and he died after sitting on him for about 10 minutes. Now that's a very, very quick summary. And the people who did it were entrusted with his health and safety and protection, and instead they did. So nobody's above the law, nobody's underneath the law. We prosecuted him, and that's what that book's all about. Now, police officer as well, and she was training another officer who was brand new. They saw somebody with like an air freshener hanging down. They decided tags were out of date, and then they get the kid out of the car. So he's afraid to be taken to jail. So what he does is he kind of wiggles out of their custody, jumps in the car, and takes off. And then they stop him before he takes off. She says, stop or I'm going to tase you. Taser, taser, taser. And then it wasn't a taser, which is a non-lethal weapon. It was a Glock 9mm. Now, the law says that if you don't intend to kill somebody, then we don't call that murder. But if you it does kill somebody, and it's so reckless because you know better, you absolutely positively know better, and you should know better, and you train to know better, but then you don't do better. Kim Potter's case. So we prosecuted Kim Potter too, and purpose because he was on top of George Floyd and never tried to render aid. In fact, the emergency medical technician, whereas Kim Potter trying to turn, and she screwed up. and a lot of time the president, one of them didn't get very much time, and probably that's, even though they have suffered a permanent, so the fact that they got punished differently is probably, so the fact that they got punished differently is probably right.
Stress from those cases.
A lot of people want
Stress from those cases.
A lot of people want me to say, oh my God, I was so. A lot of people want me to say, oh my God, I was so nervous. The pressure was unbearable. I was overconfident. No, I was not overconfident. No, I was not overconfident. I just was not underconfident. They are ready. I'm scared. They want kid. What do you want to learn? Is you all who, we have under the law, we have, and so they're willing to listen. They want to hear about it, but you got to be telling them about it. My best friend, he was in the band. This dude couldn't play ball. He couldn't do, but he sure could play a horn. But find something you are passionate about. Let me ask you all by show of hands. I want you to pursue those passions. I want you to learn everything about it. Not passionate about, just so you can make sure you get to do the one you are passionate about. That would be one. That's motivation to be well-rounded. I feel like I'm talking to the future when I'm talking to you. You guys got it all in your hands. Go get it.